Welcome, Vault Dwellers. My name is Nacho Bidness, and this is episode 25 of my Fallout 4 No Loot Challenge Run. If you're new to the series, the rules are fairly simple. I am not allowed to use the A button here on Xbox to pick up anything from the world or out of a container and put it into my character's inventory. Notable exceptions are crops from my own settlements. We're playing on survival mode, and I need something for my character to eat, and I also need something to barter with in order to buy the junk that is necessary to play the game. If you like this series, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe so that you will see when I drop additional episodes. I try to come out with a new episode every week on Sundays. If you dislike, please leave me a comment as to why, because a dislike without context means that I don't know what it is that I should improve in my content. Thanks very much for your consideration. Now, I have some maintenance to do today, and I would normally just do this between episodes, but Strong has indicated that he wants to talk to me. And so let's see what Strong wants.
Strong make decision.
Okay.
A decision?
Making me nervous.
You're making me nervous.
Only weak worry. You not weak. You good fighter. Good as super mutant. Fight beside Strong many times. You good leader. Better than Fist. Strong follow you always. You now Strong's leader.
Alright, so we have gotten Strong's companion perk. As I have said before, without bobbleheads and magazines, I feel like the companion perks are even more valuable in this playthrough than they would be normally. Let's see what Strong's perk does. Thanks to your relationship with Strong, when you fall below 25% health, you deal 20% more melee damage. Not very exciting. Not for this character. But it's another perk unlocked, and I guess now is as good a time as any to kind of review where we stand with our companions. So we have Kate's perk unlocked. We have Codsworth's perk unlocked. We haven't met Curie yet. There was a roadblock in the quest to obtain Curie in the vault with the diseased mole rats, and I am going to have to go back there with Nick Valentine because there was an option between picking up a key, which I can't do, or hacking a terminal, which Nick can do for me. Now, I could take the perks to hack the terminal myself, but I'm really not interested in taking hacking or lockpicking perks because they're usually used for more loot, and so not useful for this character. Paladin Dance, we left him at the basement of ArcJet Systems, and Lord knows what's going to happen after months of being down there. I can't pick up the deep range transmitter that he wants me to pick up, and I mean, eventually the Brotherhood of Steel will arrive, and I just don't know what's going to happen there. I'm kind of hoping for some unique dialogue, but we'll see. Deacon is locked out to us. We cannot complete the quest Tradecraft because we are required to pick up a prototype item in their old base for the railroad, which means that we simply cannot join the railroad, which is a doggone shame because I sure would have liked to have gotten myself the ballistic weave. Dogmeat loves us, and Dogmeat will always love us, but there's no companion perk for Dogmeat except for the ones that we take on the perk tree. Hancock has unlocked his perk with us, and McCready has not. There is a cure for his son that is in the basement of MedTech Research that I can't pick up and he won't pick up. some father he is. Nevertheless, it means that we're locked out of, in my opinion, one of the best perks for a companion for this particular playstyle of character. Nick Valentine remains in a vault with some triggermen because I am delaying advancing the main story as long as possible. I have said that if I am simply unable to advance the main story without picking up an item, I will do so, but I kind of feel like at that point, you know, the run is I'll finish the run, but I feel like at that point the spirit of the run is broken, and I am just putting that off as long as I can. Piper, we have unlocked her perk. Preston refuses to adventure with us anymore until we unlock the castle, and that is probably going to have to come soon, but not right now. We just unlocked Strong, and it is doubtful whether or not we will ever adventure enough with X688, and especially do enough things that X688 will like to unlock his perk. So that means that we kind of have a choice to make. We can keep adventuring with Strong just because he's there, or we could go get another companion. And I think that I would like to go ahead and go get McCready and adventure with him some more, because what I have planned coming up might be at least kind of interesting with him as a companion. Our immediate objective is to set up a supply line to Kingsport Lighthouse, which is going to look kind of funny. I always just go from newest settlement to next newest settlement, which means that we're going to go from Somerville Place all the way down there, all the way up here to Kingsport Lighthouse. However, I have said many times, supply lines don't have to look good. There is no point to having neat or efficient supply lines. They just have to exist. I have never once had a provisioner get killed because of the length of their route. So that is what we're headed for next, but I think there might be some other things we can do on the way. Meanwhile, let's go get McCready. We're back at Hangman's Alley, and McCready is in tow, but I have realized that I never finished upgrading my companion's combat armor to heavy combat armor. And so we're going to take care of that now. Through trial and error, I have discovered that the three pieces that I need are, in fact, in this vendor's inventory, if they would ever like to barter with us. There we go.
Let's take a look. Let me know what you like.
Now, Mary has been in the background picking crops and slinging jet. And let's see, it's the left leg. And although I have said before, I think that selling jet is kind of out of character for Mary, I also have to deal with realities that I have a life to live outside of playing this game and making YouTube content, and the extra time that it takes to pick crops instead of make jet, and I mean I pick crops and make jet, but the extra time to just pick crops does not improve the content any, and so ultimately, yeah, we're just going to have to sling some jet. I mean, I have picked, let's see here, I have picked, let's see, plants harvested 21,500 crops in the course of this playthrough, and we still have a lot of expensive things to buy even now.
Hey.
So, yeah, we're just going to have to kind of deal with that. In the meantime, his chest and his right leg are already heavy, so I'm going to take the other pieces off because I am hoping to reuse the mods on those. And I've showed in previous episodes that pocketed and deep pocketed do not seem to increase companion carry weight, and so that means that really the best thing that we can do as far as the miscellaneous mod is probably make them, well, this is a lighter. We're going to probably want this to be an ultralight. So we're just going to actually leave that as is. At any rate, the lighter and ultralight builds they don't increase companion carry weight, but at least they reduce the weight of the armor that they're lugging around, and so that makes it the best choice, I think, as far as what we can do for miscellaneous mods, because increased movement speed while sneaking. The only companion will never notice that. Sprinting takes less AP. Like, none of these things are things that companions would notice. So, ultra light it is. And let's see, how are we doing on all those materials? Pretty good, actually. So we'll just go ahead and make that ultra light and apply the polymer that we took off of that other piece. And oh boy, I just realized that this is going to get a little complicated, so I'm actually going, since it takes no materials to take all these pieces back to base, we're just going to take them all back to their base configuration. I'm not going to make you watch me go through all of this. I'll get back to you once we have got McCready all armored out. Alright, McCready, my friends, you are now completely covered head to toe in heavy combat armor. Actually, you're not. We still have yet to find a single doggone combat armor helmet. And I would surely love to find a couple of those. One for me and one for my companion. Nevertheless, McCready's looking good and well protected. And we have sold a whole pile of extra armor that he didn't need anymore, along with the unneeded mods that we took off, and that means that we're ready to hit the road. So I'm going to make a brief stop in Diamond City and join you outside of Huber's Comics. And I'll explain why in a second. We are standing outside of Huber's Comics because I have continued to buy those Captain Cosmos toy boxes every time I see them at a vendor. And although the Cosmic Cannon turned out to be something of a disappointment, well, I've got 30 boxes, so we might as well kind of see what we get. As for what we can get here at the lower levels, a mystery prize, I'm betting that is just a random piece of junk. My luck stat is very low. If there is any kind of loot table that is affected by luck, I probably don't stand much of a chance of getting anything good there. That sounds like a settlement decoration unlock with the Captain Cosmos poster. And I'm interested in getting it, but not right this minute. Jingles the Moon Monkey. I am betting that is the stuffed toy that you can buy at most junk vendors, so no interest there. Power armor piece, not yet. Now, that may end up being a heck of a deal. 15 boxes that cost like 2 or 3 caps a box for a power armor piece, but since I don't have a power armor frame yet, and I probably won't get one until the Brotherhood arrives, yeah, really, let's not do that. So I am hoping that this Captain Cosmos spacesuit is amazing because the Cosmic Cannon was such a disappointment. And because we have the boxes for it, and I'm curious what it is, I am also getting this figurine. And I hope it's not just a piece of junk. It is a piece of junk that I have bought for 10 toy boxes. Fantastic. Well, we'll set it down in our settlement and decorate with it, but yeah, a little bit of a disappointment there. I mean, it has some good components to it, aluminum, screw, plastic, but I don't really need any of those things. Now, for the main event, what about this Captain Cosmos spacesuit? Increases jump height and prevents falling damage and has 750 rad resistance. That seems very interesting. Now the hazmat suit has 1,000, but 750 is pretty good. Let's just put it on and see what else it takes off. So it takes off everything but our headgear. And, well, it it looks kind of swanky. What about this increased jump height? Well, it is no marsupial mutation from Fallout 76. If this is increased jump height, I am currently unimpressed. How much does it weigh? Let's see here. The hazmat suit weighs 5, and this also weighs 5. Yeah, I am disappointed. I don't think that was worth it. It does not seem like it's going to replace any of my regular gear, and I think that I'm just going to sell it at the next opportunity, to be honest. The increased jump height is nowhere close to anything that I think would actually be useful, and it's certainly not a jetpack. And reduced fall damage, I have, I'm going to jinx myself, but I have rarely had a problem with fall damage. So, yep, we're just going to get rid of it. However, we did notice that I have a perk to spend, and I really want Penetrator, but I also have a thing coming up that I really want Science for. And I've got the levels for it. I just haven't got the perk points. So I am going to go ahead and take rank 3 of Science, and we will take rank 4 at the next opportunity. Our next destination is Egret Tours Marina, because it is on the way to Somerville Place and can be the jumping off point for trying to complete one of our other quests that so far we've not been able to touch. I'll explain when we get there. So this is slightly embarrassing. I came to Egret Tours expecting to find a thriving community. After all, I have put down plenty of defense at 72. I've got 15 beds available for people, and I planted just a whole bunch of crops in anticipation of settlers arriving due to my recruitment beacon. And I built a siren instead. Doggone it. Actually, I guess we might as well leave it up. It does neither harm nor good. But yeah, I have not been through this place in-game weeks and was expecting to find a whole bunch of people so that I could maybe move some around, and anticipation of setting up supply lines, and yeah, none of that. However, it turns out that Lucas Miller has showed up at our trade caravan post, so we can check and see if he's got anything good.
Let's see what you've got.
Doubt that he has anything that we want at this point. In fact, it just seems very unlikely since we've got all of our companion armor set up and we have progressed beyond the need for these pieces that he has. I never did understand why these entry-level pieces of armor were so expensive. There's no way an early game character can afford them, and by the time you can afford them, you have progressed beyond the want or need for them. And since we're running a little light on just about everything, I think that we are just going to elect not to sell Lucas anything. Still, we do have a water fountain here and everything that we need in order to drop a save and head along to our next objective, which is, oh, doggone it, lethargy. What is lethargy? AP refresh minus 50%. I don't think that I can let that stand, so we're going to cure that. Unfortunate. Anyways, we are going to be able to move along towards our next objective, which is the Gunner's Plaza, of all things. And that is in support of a Creation Club quest that we started many, many episodes ago. And that was a quest called Neon Winter that was to give us a new player home in Goodneighbor. And although I don't really care about having a player home in Goodneighbor at this point, I've completed most of the quests around Goodneighbor, so not a lot of options or reasons to go back there often. I would still like the experience points if I can get them. Something is almost detecting me. I don't know if it's that super mutant up there or something else. But I don't like it. Anyways, the Paper Mirror quest, although the quest marker remains in Boston Library because there was a holotape that I was supposed to pick up there, text on a terminal said that we should check out the Gunner's Plaza. And so as soon as I find it, and assuming I don't die along the way, I will join you there. In fact, I was practically here when I said I was going to join you, so I just sped up time a little bit. And now it's time to start trying to take these guys out. And I always like to approach this place by just trying to clean off the outside as best I can. And, uh-oh. I am in danger and nearly dead. Oh, Reynolds. We're going to take another stab at this. I much prefer to try and approach from the rear because the defenses are far lighter, and there's a guy with a fat man, usually, that hangs out on the roof, that if we can get behind him and approach from the roof, he has much less of an opportunity to try and shoot down at us. Still, the sergeant is not wanting to hold still, and it's going to be a tough moving shot on him. Okay, now he's in caution, and now he's disappeared behind the wall. Flippin-tastic. Hey, this is probably going to be a somewhat slow and methodical process to try and snipe people off, so I am going to probably speed up time and add some music and just try to get through this. Outside of the TV station here, and I could go in through the front doors, but that just doesn't seem like the greatest of plans. Instead, I am electing to go in through the elevator off of the roof. And I am thirsty, so let's go ahead and drink a little water. And that will also top off my hit points. Really, as long as I see them before they see me, we are going to be in good shape. Like that guy right there. Didn't even look down when the elevator doors opened. And there's another one.
Trying to have fun.
So just like I did with the exterior, I think I'm going to maybe speed up time, add some music, because it is hard to try and keep up a running stream of commentary, especially when we're just simply killing all these guys with VATs. Not a ton of skill involved, and it's just a matter of kind of playing carefully. Like this guy standing behind a pillar, and you can take a pot shot at him that way. So yeah, prepare for music video mode, I guess. Well, we have cleared out the basement, and although there was a named Gunner down here with a key to the storage area, recording room, and there was a terminal down there. The terminal just controlled spotlights, and I don't think the named Gunner was related to our quest. So back to just trying to slowly and cautiously and systematically murder them all. Bad news and good news. Bad news. I was not able to find anything to advance the quest for the player home in Goodneighbor in here at all. And so I went to the wiki, and I think the quest is broken, or at least not in a state that can be advanced by me under this rule set, because I did pass an intelligence check of 6. I then proceeded to continue monkeying around with the terminals at the library, and had I stopped at the intelligence check, what should have happened is that there would have been a signal that was detectable outside, leading me to a terminal on the roof. It said that the terminal was in a generator room, and I specifically remember checking that terminal, and there was nothing on it except something about the satellites being extended. So, yeah. I suppose I could go back to the library and pick up the holotape. That might advance the quest, but it also breaks the rules. Also, we have nearly cleared this place out, and that is the good news. We got a ton of experience points, and the only place left in here with anybody still alive is behind this master locked door. There are keys dotted about, but I am not inclined to break the rules by picking them up, and I could come back here with Kate and unlock that door and kill those people, but there's kind of no point to it. I think there's a bobblehead or some other good loot inside there, but nothing relevant to me, so those people can just rot. And in other pieces of good news, we have a perk that we can take because we gained so much experience from killing so many gunners that we can take a perk. And there are plenty of other perks that I want, but right now I am concentrating on getting science because there is something coming up that I want to be able to do that I'm going to need Science 4 to do. So we've got our Science 4 in hand. Next thing is probably going to be getting Penetrator. I still want Action Girl, but for the most part, I am able to take some pot shots in VATS, and my sneak is good enough that I can just kind of fade back and let the action points regenerate. So having the high regeneration speed on action points is not strictly necessary. The other good thing that we've got going here was that I can't remember exactly where, but I did find some beds in this building, and so I am going to save my game before we make any additional progress. I will check in with you at our next way station. Here we are at our next stop, which is Somerville Place, and got a nice night of hanging out with the settlers next to the campfire. And it turns out that the population at this place exploded pretty quickly. In fact, we're already up to 17 people. You know, a number of these guys are still unemployed, and that is actually kind of by design. I did add a trade caravan post here because I think it's time to adjust my strategy when it comes to settlements that I don't intend to visit very often. Because I was disappointed with the amount of scrap that seemed to be showing up from these scavenger stations, and so I did a little bit of research and reading on the wiki and found out that these things are just terrible. They're a complete waste of time, in my opinion, because when you assign a settler to a scavenging station, they will bring in one random piece of junk every day. And that is just not very much. Now, it is passive. That junk goes into the workbench, and I can use that whether I visit these settlements or not. But I think that I am probably better off planting crops and letting settlers work on those, because even if I don't visit very often, if there are a lot of crops to pick when I do come around, and if there should happen to be a caravan in residence when I show up, then it ends up that trip just ends up being much more profitable, both in terms of caps and, depending on the vendor, like Trash Can Carla, potentially more valuable in terms of junk that I can trade for versus just having settlers randomly bring in one piece per day. So I probably won't go back and mess around with, for example, Taffington Boathouse has a ton of scavenging stations, but in the future, yeah, we are going to stick to crops, and that has been working for us, so might as well keep it up. Now, the reason why I haven't planted more crops here and gotten more people employed is that I am just running out of potatoes, and that means that I would, okay, well, somewhere I got some more. Every time I sit down at the cooking station, I check to see if I can make any adhesive, because the potatoes, newt fruit, and corn that you need for adhesive will show up in your workbench and then be usable at the cooking station. But for some reason, I seem to constantly be out of potatoes. Now, there are plenty of newt fruit and corn in the network. You can see that I've got 35 corn, 63 newt fruit, and 200 water. But I'm out of potatoes. So my intent is that I am going to just plant potatoes for the foreseeable future until that just kind of stops happening. My understanding is that some settlers have a preference for potatoes over other types of food, and that means that sometimes they will eat the potatoes first. Is there any other? Nope. Looks like between, yeah, all those potato plants that I just planted are now being tended to. So that's good. We also got our supply line set up to Kingsport Lighthouse. And as I've said many times before, there is no reason for supply lines to look good or make sense. I have never, even on survival mode, had a provisioner die unless I was to accidentally kill them. And so I just don't do that anymore. Next step is going to be a run back to Hangman's Alley, because there are not many quests that we can go after down here in the south part of the map, and we have gotten word that Hangman's Alley is under attack. And although it seems unlikely that we are going to make it there in time to help defend the place, we're at least going to try, and if we fail, well, at least if there's any damage done, we'll be right there to repair. So this is a kind of known route at this point, and I've covered it recently, which means that should be fairly safe. So I'll join you once again when we get back home to Hangman's Alley. We are approaching Hangman's Alley, and just as we started coming up the road here, we got a notification that we had helped defend Hangman's Alley. And I don't know if that's just because I have gotten close, or if by happenstance the settlers managed to kill the last of the enemies as I approached, or what. But the turrets seem awfully calm, and I don't see any enemies running around, and I don't see any bodies either, so I'm not sure exactly what's going on, but I think we are in the clear. However, we have some textures that are not loading properly. So that's disconcerting, to say the least. I think I might exit out of the game and load here before too long, just to see if I can fix that. In the meantime, I'm going to pick some crops, and we're going to talk about our next destination right now, because I have been trying to cross things off of my quest log from bottom to top, and we could go ahead and do those now that we're kind of in the downtown area, at least this clear the super mutants. And I think that although I am probably not going to be able to complete it while we're in the region, we'll go ahead and poke our nose into Hubris Comics and see about maybe trying to complete the Silver Shroud. Other things on our quest log that can't do it, we have to pick up a locket. And this quest has been with us from very nearly the start of the game. Same with this one, because it's a Creation Club. This is the one we were working on earlier today, and it's busted. Can't complete it. Can't do that one. Can't do that one. Can't do Holiday Spirits because we have to pick up packages. We can't do the paper mirror, or at least we can't complete it because we can't pick up the anti-material rifle. This one is interesting. It requires listening to a strange radio signal that has not... When I listen to it, there's just nothing. So I did look at the wiki, and you can advance this quest. This is kind of a known bug out of Creation Club that, Creation Club, we're going to sell you mods and guarantee that there's no bugs. And yeah, there's bugs. Anyways, this one, I think we can advance that, but it is a little bit further north, so we're gonna take care of the things we can here in downtown Boston before we move on. We are on approach to Trinity Plaza, which we got as a bounty in Diamond City as a side effect of pursuing the paper mirror quest. And although there is really no pay to speak of, the bounty basically said, keep what you kill. This is a line item that we can cross out of our quest log. So we're going to do it. And instead of going in through the front door, guns blazing, like a dummy, we are going to at least try to be a little bit strategic and come in through the back door. So far, though, that doesn't seem to be working. I hear a lot of super mutants talking, but I don't have eyes on any of them. And that is just a little nerve-wracking. So how do we get up to the next floor to try and maybe shoot some super mutants? Here are some stairs. And I'm not sure that this is really any better than coming in through the front door, but we're going to at least peek out and see what we can see. So there's a guy who is making dinner. Not anymore. I noticed that we have some additional stairs up, and I turn on my light briefly here so that you can see, but I can't really leave the light on and give away my position. There's a couple of levels up that we were able to come, but this looks like a dead end. So let's see if we can maybe turn this balcony that is out here into a shooting gallery. Because there should be a few super mutants down here. Take some manual shots while we can, but oh boy, a butcher with a minigun. Hopefully we can get him down with a headshot. And although we didn't kill him, we at least managed to stagger him, and that is pretty good. Not totally out of the woods yet, although I did see that our quest objective had completed. So take this guy out, and that is probably the last one, I'm gonna guess. And there is a skill book down there, or I should say a magazine down there on the pulpit, but that's off limits, so we're not going to worry about it. Otherwise, I think that we've got everybody nice and dead.
This reminds me of the time we tried to perform Pyramus and Thisbe in Little Lamplight.
So I am going to move on to Huber's Comics, which is our next objective here. We've passed it by a couple of times. I figure I'll at least go in and kill the ghouls for some experience points. And here we are at Huber's Comics. Rifle away, pistol out, because pistol still does pretty good against ghouls, especially if we can get them while we're still got a sneak attack bonus. And we also get an awful lot of shots for each advance round with this thing. And doesn't really matter if we get headshots or not, so we'll not take the risk of missing. And whoa, thank you, McCready. And here comes another one. Unless I've got at least a good 50 shot on the head, I am just not going to take headshots because the body shots are effective enough, especially against basic ferals. Okay, danger is fading. We're back into caution, and there is quite a bit of good loot to be had around here, but of course not for us. I'm not sure if this door is actually a way forward or if it is just hiding some additional loot. And my lockpicking skills today are especially embarrassingly bad. Is there anything in here? Nope. Nope, there is not. Okay. I seem to remember there is some stairs around here towards the back. Yes. And I believe when we get upstairs there will be... Yeah, I think there's this set. Oh, no, wait. Looks like we're just in some office spaces. I thought we went directly to the set, but I guess not. Bad news is that we have not been careful, and the ghouls have detected us and are trying to swarm us.
Confirmed kill. The hell are they?
Not great, but at least they're just basics.
Whoa! Over there!
In fact, I could probably even use my my Rockville Slugger against these guys. Because Vats Defense is really effective. You can see I took a whole bunch of hits in Vats that hardly touched me at all, and as soon as that guy got a whack in outside of Vats, yeah, it hurt quite a bit. In fact, it hurt enough that I kind of hate to do it, but I think we're going to do a little bit of healing here. So, get ourselves a stim pack and a couple of waters. So, still enough, even with hardly any ranks in medic, to fully heal me when I use a stim pack and then offset the thirst that you get with some water. So, okay, that is going to be the stairs up to the set, but let's make sure that we haven't left anybody behind down here. And even if I can't loot whatever's behind this door,
Yes.
the experience points are always welcome. And if there's any other terminals that are around here that... Hello, Stalker. You have not really woke up yet, have you? If there's any terminals around here that I can use to crack and get some additional experience points, we'll do that too. In the meantime, we're going to take this Reaver out, and let's see, what are we missing out on? Hunter's left leg. Even though it's a piece of synth armor, I don't care. Hunter's, I think, is just too situational, so yes, we are kind of back around to almost where we started. So, any other terminals or anything else that we can hack into on this level? Don't see any. So let's move upstairs and say hello to a glowing one. Oh, it is dark in here without the light. We gotta have at least a little bit. Alright. Stalker down. And anybody else want to come? Yes. I was going to say if anybody else wanted to charge. Good thing he didn't know exactly where I was.
Standing straight up like this?
I might still be yet a level below the set even now. Which is, yes I am. Wow, I forgot just how big this location was. I did not remember this having quite so much to it. But that's okay. We're here for some experience points, and experience points are indeed what we are getting. So, where was that? Where was that other stairway? I just saw it, but I managed to lose. I managed to get myself lost already in a very tiny room. That's going down, not the direction we want. Come on. Here we go. Alright. This should finally be what we're looking for up here. So we'll try to take out any of our glowing friends. Come on out, glowing one. There we go. Finally decided to show up. And good news is that we have a critical built up, so we can go ahead and take a critical at his head. Hopefully he won't be able to charge over here and murder us. There we go. And I think that's it. I think that's all the ghouls around here, if it's not close enough.
This is where they used to film the old.
I am curious if McCready will take the Silver Shroud costume, but I don't see a bed anywhere around here to try and lay down a save, because if I was going to do that, it wouldn't be something I could, let stand, and that means that I definitely would rather save before I do that, just in case we decide to come back someday. So we're just going to leave that where it is. Hey, maybe there will be a bed back here. Nope. No bed, not even the dressing room. Skill magazine, but again, not for us. So, too bad. And that means that we've almost cleared out what we can do here in downtown, but we're also kind of out of time for the day. I will pick this up again next episode, and if you're looking forward to that, be sure to hit the subscribe button and hit the bell notifications so that you will know when I drop that episode. If you like this one, please hit the like button. It does help my channel grow. If you didn't like, please tell me why in a comment so that I can do better for you next time. A dislike without context means that I don't know what it is I should do to improve my content for you. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Nacho Bidness, and I say it's a great big wasteland out there. Let's go have fun in it.